When people ask me for my Snapchat and I tell them that I don't use social media, they often look at me weird, and I believe that deep in their mind they have this sort of belief that I am a antisocial and kind of weird guy. Though I actually believe the opposite to be true. I believe that quitting social media actually makes you more social than it actually makes you less social. I truly believe in this concept of a social battery. Just imagine this like the battery on your iPhone. You go to bed and you charge it, and then you wake up in the morning and it's fully charged. Yeah? Your battery is fully charged. And this is also exactly what happens with our social battery. You wake up in the morning, your social battery is fully charged. And across the day, as your phone battery gets lower and lower because you keep using it, the same happens with your social battery. I believe that there is two different ways to use your social battery. There's either using it on social media or using it in real life. And both drain your battery percentage at the same speed. Now just imagine you're on Snapchat and you're snapping with 10 to 20 to 30 people at the same time. You're looking at their stories, you're opening their snaps, you're sending snaps back, even though most of those snaps are just some pictures of your ceiling, something like streaks, or some picture of your eyebrows. Maybe every now and then it's a full face picture of you, but it's never really just you talking to somebody. It's just a picture you send, and maybe you have a text on it. I truly believe every story you watch, every snap you send, every snap you receive, this all drains your social battery. It just drains your social battery so much that all of a sudden it is empty. There is no more social contact you need. There is no more social contact you crave. And now let's talk about the other end of the spectrum. Somebody that doesn't use social media. Somebody that goes outside with a full social battery. How could that be beneficial? Well, it's simple really. If I go out on the streets, if I go into the town, if I go to the city, it is so incredibly different for me now that I quit social media than before when I still had social media and I always had a low battery or an empty social battery. So I go outside and the first thing you'll notice is that whilst you're walking, you're not constantly scrolling on your phone. You're actually looking up, you're looking at the people, you're holding eye contact with the people, you're looking at the surroundings. You'll start to notice things that you've never noticed before that have been there all your life. You've walked past them 20, 30, 50 times and you've never noticed them. And this is the first good thing that'll happen to you. You'll just be more present in your day-to-day life. Now what happens if you see people walking past you? You get interested in people because your social battery is full and everybody craves social attention. So think about this real quick with me. Imagine two persons. So think about this real quick with me. Imagine two different people. One on social media, empty social battery, he's outside. The other one is also outside, he hasn't got social media, his social battery is full. What person, the right one or the left one, is more likely to actually go and approach a random stranger and get into a conversation with them? Well, the answer is simple. It is obviously going to be the one that doesn't use social media, simply because he still craves social attention. As a boy, this is also incredibly beneficial to me because now that I'm outside, I'm looking around at my surroundings. I see beautiful women walking past me that I usually would never approach because I'd just be like, yeah, I'll find them on Snapchat anyways, or I'll find them on Insta or something. But no, why not just use this moment, them walking past me, me actually going up to them, approaching them, because I'm genuinely curious if this person interests me, if this person is somebody who could bring any benefit to my life, if this person could make my life more fun, more enjoyable, more fulfilling. Nowadays, when I see a beautiful woman walking past me, I instinctively go and approach her. I talk to her, and whilst talking to her, and this is the most important thing about this entire video, I am present, I am there, I am listening to her because I'm actually curious and I'm actually interested in what she has to say. Because this is most likely the only social contact that I will get on this day. So also, now that I've quit social media, every time I'm on a date or I'm meeting up with a friend, they can't help but tell me that they notice how present I am whilst talking to them. I have this sparkle in my eyes because I'm actually curious about what they have to say. I'm actually here, I'm present in the conversation. I don't have any distractions. I'm not scrolling through my phone because there is nothing on my phone. I deleted social media. I am present, I am listening to them, and I am giving good and valuable answers to them. And isn't this a beautiful way to live your life? To be present in the very moment you're living in? Because I certainly think so. Literally, bro, just listen to this. You need this. Trust me. Listen to this information. Snapchat is incredibly bad for you. It fucks up your emotions. It really does. And now listen, I'll explain exactly how it does that. It hooks you in so deep that if you send a snap to some chick or some friend or whatever, and you send something important, or you try and shoot your shot with a chick, and you send her this snap, and it's just a snap of you, or it's a snap of a ceiling with a text on it, it doesn't matter. You send this snap and there's this red arrow saying delivered 1 minute ago, delivered 2 minutes ago, delivered 17 minutes ago, delivered 1 hour ago. And you're always anxious whilst that. You keep looking on your phone, you keep checking, has she opened it yet? Has she opened it yet? Has she replied yet? No, she hasn't. So you're always anxious. You're waiting. You're wasting time whilst waiting. You're actually waiting. You're not using your time wisely. And all of a sudden, what happens is this red arrow suddenly turns blue and hollow, and it just says opened 1 minute ago, opened 5 minutes ago, opened 20 minutes ago. And there's no reply. There's no reply back. And just imagine what that does to your emotions. Imagine what that does to your mood. Do you truly think your mood is going to be up when somebody important to you just opens your snap and doesn't send anything back? Or if they send anything back, but it's just a hollow snap with a ceiling in it. But it's just an empty ceiling snap. What does that do to your emotions? I truly know that all of you have been in this situation because I've been in it and all of my best friends have also been in it. So the chances are it's more likely than not that this has happened to you. And why would you willingly do that to yourself? Snapchat is bound to make you feel lonely. But how do I know that? Well, I've experienced it myself. Snapchat made me feel lonely, though I never actually realized it. I always had 20 to 30 to 50 people I was snapping and I was texting. So actively there was always something going on. I was always feeling like, yeah, there's people interested in me and I'm interested in people and we're communicating. So those are my friends, aren't they? Well, yes, but also no. I guess you could consider somebody who brings some sort of value to your life, and this would be entertainment, as your friend. So let me tell you about the no part. Well, simple. One day I decided I'm done with this. I am done with Snapchat, I'm done with social media, I want to quit. That was this summer. So I took a selfie and on this selfie I wrote, I am done with social media, I will be quitting Snapchat within the next 24 hours. If you care about me and you want to keep in contact, reply to this story, ask me for my number, I'll give it to you and we can keep in touch on WhatsApp. Now, out of these 30 to 100 people that I was snapping on a daily basis, how many people do you think actually replied to that story and asked me for my number so we could stay in touch? I'll tell you, it was about 5 people, 5 to 6 people, I'm not sure, but it was 5 to 6 people actually replied to that story and cared about keeping in touch with me. So that's a big step, going from hundreds of people who you were snapping on a daily basis, who you thought were your friends, to 6 people. 6 people. That was a shock. That was quite hard, but that also was a blessing in disguise. Because through that, I actually filtered out all the fake friends I had in my life. All the people who are just using me for attention, all the people who are just using me for their personal enjoyment and not actually cared about me, well, there was simply filtered out by that, and I kept in touch with all the 6 people who replied on my WhatsApp because I realized those are my real friends. Those are the people who actually care about me. And I strongly advise all of you to do the same, because Snapchat gives you such a false sense of friendship. You have such a false perception of who your actual friends are. You don't even realize it until you actually say, yeah, I'm done with this. Text me if you care about me. We'll stay in touch. If they don't text you, you know you've been wasting your time with them. Some people didn't text me who I definitely 100% knew they would text me. It didn't happen. And I realized I was wasting my time with them. And I'm glad, I am so glad that I cut these people off. And this is exactly what you should do too. Because this, over time, will make you feel lonely. Because you always have this false sense of friendship, but never have a real sense of friendship. You don't actually know what real friends are like, because you think your false friends are your real friends. And this is bound to mess you up emotionally. Now, this entire thing might be a little hypocritical of me to tell you to quit social media, because I actually still use YouTube, I still use Instagram. It's just I use them differently. I don't use YouTube and Instagram the way I used to use them. I only follow about 15 people on Instagram, and those are only some people that are actually beneficial to me. I follow my closest friends on there, and I follow 2 or 3 different fitness guys, and some people that put me on the right path, some people that put value into my life. This is the people I follow on Instagram. I follow about 15 people, and so should you. I am in no way, shape or form telling you to quit Instagram entirely. I think that would be a horrible idea. Still keep following your closest circle. Keep following some people who motivate you, who inspire you, who put you on the right path. Only a few though, because more likely than not, you don't have more than 20 real friends. And also, this might just be me, but I actually stopped following my local news channel. Now you might be wondering, why would you do that? This is important news about the world and what's going on around me and whatever. But really think about it. Do you need those news? Do you really need to know what's going on there? Does that benefit your life in any way? Well, it might. I'm not saying it won't, but just think about this. If you're out with your friend, more likely than not, he'll fill you in about this regardless, because he's like, oh my God, you heard what happened there and there, and dude, in this country, there was so many robbers and whatever, bro. They'll tell you anyway. You don't need to follow any news channels, because you'll pick up on it from your friends. They'll talk about it regardless. Now let's get into TikTok. Why should you quit TikTok? Well, I think the answer is simple. Every one of you knows this. I don't even want to get into this too deep. It is proven that TikTok decreases your attention span. So is there really any benefit to being on TikTok? And before you go and make some random excuses like, oh yeah, but I get some valuable information there. I follow some fitness guy. I follow somebody that tells me how to eat properly. I tell somebody who's a scientific based or a psychology based person, and he gives really good value to me. But just think about how often you come across these type of videos and how often you come across some random girl shaking her ass on this app. Is it really worth it? To me, it is not. It might be to you, but I'm just saying you can also follow these important people on your Instagram. This is what I'm doing. This is some of the select few people, well, some of the, I don't know, under 20 people I'm following who are actually benefiting my life. So yes, in my opinion, there's 2 apps you absolutely have to quit, and there's a few apps you can probably keep that are still somewhat beneficial to you. Quit your Snapchat and quit your TikTok. You can keep your Instagram, but lower the people you follow. Only follow people that are actually good for you and that will bring you closer to that one goal you're trying to achieve. But now I know there is other apps like Twitter and Reddit. In my opinion, just quit those. So to end this video, please remember this phrase I will tell you now. If you truly want to be great one day, you need to get off these sorts of addicting apps. Imagine 2 different people. One version of you who still uses social media on a daily basis, wastes countless of hours. The other one doesn't have social media. He can focus all this extra spare time and energy he got because he's not wasting it on some random content he's seeing. Now, if you knew one of these two people, one of these two versions of yourself is guaranteed to be successful one day, whom would you place your bets on? The version of you who's antisocial when he's actually in a social environment and wastes countless of hours on social media, or the version of you who's actually present when talking to people, who's actually present in his life, he's social in social environments, and he doesn't waste any time on social media. Now this is your actionable step for this video. Write your answer in the comments down below, and always remember, God always provides.